Hey everyone, and welcome back to Bozzy Builds. I'm Bozzy. For those of you just joining us, we're recreating the charming town of Eureka Springs, Arkansas in Planet Coaster 2. So far, we've built the Spring and Center Street intersection, we've recreated the beautiful Basin Spring Park, and even added our own thrilling wooden coaster. In this episode, we're working on some iconic stonework, a little bit of housing, and some classic storefronts. So let's get started. Okay, so today we are diving deeper into downtown Eureka Springs, and we're going to be continuing south on Spring Street, southwest, and tackling some iconic shop fronts that are on the Main Street and Spring Street intersection. Main Street being that main thoroughfare that's just below Spring Street that I've built. I haven't put anything there yet, but I definitely will. Eureka Springs is known for its charming shops, so while I'm still honing my interior design skills in these games, I'm really excited to create a few detailed places. Not in this episode, but I definitely give myself the space to do so, and I will be definitely utilizing some of our new glass pieces for some nice storefronts, so we can see inside these shops. It's going to be a self-imposed challenge for sure, but I'm excited to show you what I come up with. I do want to finish up the backsides of these charming lodging bed and breakfast units. They really add so much to the overall depth and visual interest of downtown. And I particularly really love this balcony on the end unit on the backside. It's just a perfect spot to relax, to enjoy the view of Eureka. And I appreciate how you can access the buildings from this pathway that's above the street. Just all these layered Victorian elements, brick, stone, and all this greenery behind. It just creates a really unique atmosphere. And as we move down Spring Street, I'm focusing on getting these limestone walls just right. They're a defining feature of Eureka Springs, expertly crafted by stonemasons between 1885 and 1910. And there's almost 56 miles of this stonework in the area. So I want to make sure I do the recreation well, or I want to make it feel authentic and varied from spot to spot. This section of Spring Street is particularly tall, featuring a staircase leading up to a viewing platform above it. And it's going to be right behind these lodging units that are at the Basin Spring Park. And by the way, I just discovered I can use Google Images in my videos without copyright. I just discovered this, yes. I'm a little late to the game, but it's fantastic because now I can show you even better comparisons. I will show you, this is the entirety of Eureka Springs. We will not be building all of this, but I do want to capture the heart at least. So what we've done so far, if you can sort of tell by what we've built, we've built this starting point of the Main Street, and then we've built the Spring Street up right next to the Basin Spring Park, and then we've built the Basin Park Hotel exterior as well as the Flatiron exterior here. So this is what we've done so far, and we've built our wooden roller coaster up in these woodlands, and then I definitely plan to really tackle kind of this whole area here. Put in a bunch of rides and tons of shops and just fun architecture and homes up in the woods. And then, I don't know, I really want to do this hotel over here, but I might kind of squeeze it down towards the downtown area. The Crescent Hotel is a famous haunted hotel in Eureka, and I'd love to rebuild it because it's super cool and iconic. I don't know if I can build all of this. We'll see. It would take a very long time. So if y'all are in it with me for the long haul. But I will keep an open request for any photos from anybody of any interiors of these buildings. That way I can try to attempt some accuracy on the interior designs. And above the limestone walls, I'm planning to create a path network underneath the coaster, the Basin Park coaster, and it'll connect in front of the lodging units. It'll connect up here on this platform behind the units, and then there will also be another pathway over to the left-hand side that will all connect and go up to the station, the coaster station at the top of the hill. But you'll also be able to access the coaster from the road that will be up there. That will probably be built within, the next full month. I don't know. And there are no actual pathways in real life, I don't think, or any trails through these woods. So I'll be taking some imaginative liberties and creating a nice enchanting pathway up the mountain to the coaster station. I'm very excited. And listen, y'all, I know my building style is kind of different, and I'm curious to hear any thoughts about it. I don't typically complete one section at a time, but I also don't tackle too many things at once either. My approach is generally to lay down the groundwork for several areas around each other that are around each other simultaneously to get a good feel for the scale and proportions, particularly important when doing recreations of actual real-life locations. And then I go back and I add the final touches and details after. For example, episode 1, I tackle the Spring and Center Street intersection, but the storefronts on the right-hand side of Spring Street are still totally untouched. And that's a whole project within itself, because there will be storefronts and also, I think, a ride entrance. So I want to get the scale right before I get too bogged down on a lot of details. But that's my approach. I believe this method helps me kind of maintain realism. But honestly, I would love to know your thoughts and opinions on this workflow and how it's landing for you all. And if anybody has any efficiency tips or anything, I am all ears. I'd love to hear from you. Because ultimately, I just want to make content that's engaging and that you all enjoy watching. And I want to make sure that we're making progress. I know there haven't been a ton of rides, but I am super into architecture and realism. And I hope you all have enjoyed the just journey of detail and getting in the nitty gritty. Because I think that's where a lot of the fun is. That and seeing the final results. And rest assured, there will be plenty of rides and amusements scattered all throughout Eureka by the end of this project. And again, I'm not entirely sure how large or how long I'll be working on this specific project. It kind of depends on you all's response and if you guys are digging it. And I guess it's like what you all want to see more of. I definitely think this will be a pretty big project, probably around 15 episodes or so minimum, and for the Eureka series. And I know that's quite a huge undertaking. I know for a first YouTube project, but you can call me audacious, I guess. I have been building larger scale creations on my own for a while now, quite a few years, and I don't really want to waste my time, so I want to get to showing you all what I like to do. Also, I'm super passionate about this place, so I'm passionate about the project, and that passion serves as my fuel. But I digress. So here we're finishing up the limestone walls down Spring Street, as well as the staircase that goes up top to this viewing platform up top. And this is all technically made of wood in real life, the staircase and the platform, but I went ahead and just kind of adhered the platforms to the stone in the game, because we don't really have any sort of thin wooden path platforms that are traversable for guests to actually walk on. It's definitely better than in Planet Coaster 1, where each piece of path was this giant slab of concrete. That was pretty abysmal to build staircases with, but this is definitely better. But I do wish I could build that just really primitive wooden structure that people could actually walk on, possibly in future games. And these walls are well over 100 years old, so I want to make sure they don't look too neat, and I want the stone to adhere to the environment as well as it does in real life. So I nestled some of the tropical rocks within for some texturing, just to ensure a more weathered and aged look. And yes, I will be using primarily tropical rocks, some of the mossy rocks as well for most of this Eureka build. I really wish we had some good looking, like alpine-y gray rocks that were lighter than this, but alas, this will do for this build.
And actually, now that I think about it, I will probably use a lot of the aquatic rocks as well.
Because I can change their color. And I'm curious if Frontier is holding out on a lot of biome elements for future DLC. That would make sense. And then I'm going to put in a little bit of greenery and shrubbery along the limestone wall and an oak tree that leans out over the road. I really do love seeing all the greenery come in. It just kind of ties it all up for me and makes it come to life. I'm trying to make some room right here for this brick building. It's a standalone brick unit at the start of Spring Street. It's very beautiful. Kind of a funny story. I originally thought it was an antique shop that I was going to try to recreate. And maybe it used to be an antique shop, but I was doing my research, well, just looking on Google and realized that it's actually right now a lingerie store. And I don't think I will be recreating that in Planet Coaster 2. And no shade to anyone that would like to see that, and no intention of sacrificing any authenticity to Eureka Springs, but I don't know if that's the vibe we're going for. So I think we will stick with the antique store idea, as long as that doesn't take from any other antique stores in the area. And yeah. So I think for the rest of this episode, I'm just going to let you guys enjoy the process and leave you with the time lapse. I'm going to be working on a small hot dog stand as well. In real life, it is a funnel cake stand, but we don't have funnel cake. So, gotta make do. And I will also be working on some exteriors for an old-time photo boutique, as well as a so-delightful storefront. Although in real life, that is a fudge shop. I'm trying to figure out how I can convey fudge, but I'm sure I can figure it out. But for right now, it's going to be so delightful. And feel free to skip ahead if you prefer. I'll put in some cinematics here at the end so you can get to see how it's all starting to come together. And also keep an eye out in the next few weeks, because I'll be starting to showcase my unfinished Planet Coaster 1 build, as well as my Planet Zoo build that I've been currently working on for well over a year. And I am so excited to finally see what you guys think of them, because I've been working on them for so long and I've only shown probably like a handful of people. And also to start showing you the build process of my tropical zoo. So that'll be super fun. Let me know how you also like this time lapse today, because I find the time lapse to be greatly educative, but I know that it can be a bit of a headache to watch for some people. So I may do more simple updates and tours in the future for specific content. I'm trying to create a good workflow, as I'm still fairly green at YouTube, but I want to make sure I'm doing it in a way that you all enjoy. So I'm definitely aiming for a more calming, creative content channel, and I'm hoping I'm hitting the mark. If you like this video, make sure and like and subscribe, and I will catch you all in the next video. Take care.